I mean, we're talking about legends and hiring the best. We've talked previously before we started recording about Steve Olds, right? Who was one of your key hires.
Steve Olds was brilliant. We worked together at Rhythm and Hughes. He was really a brilliant designer with extreme self-discipline, like extreme.
Right.
And he taught himself.
Yeah, which is crazy because I remember I was watching. I don't know. Do you know a guy in LA called Rob Brown, by chance?
Yeah, he used to work for us. He was art director at.
Yeah, so I used
Oddworld.
to watch his YouTube channels and his streams, and I'd
Is that
talking to him one day.
Robert Brown from the Central Coast? And he's working for he's a
Yeah,
contractor. Yeah. He's great.
But he had a funny thing right? I'll tell you about this because you'll laugh, right? But then he has a jar in his, and I talked about it during the stream about like his, because he got into the eventually like, I used to work in Oddworld and I was like, oh, I love the game, and he's dude. So he brought this jar, right, this glass jar, and it was pencils, a jar full of pencils down to the nubs, and he was like, this is the mojo jar of what Steve Olds used to draw Oddworld, and this is what was left, and
he kept it. He got it. Oh, that
yeah.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that. That's a great. Wow, I didn't know that. But like you're talking to Steve Olds is. I mean, this guy, like a couple times, and I still have all the original drawings though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, from all the Oddworld productions, I have about, if you stacked it in just sheets of paper, it's about 6 feet high.
Wow.
Right? And then, but Steve Olds, I remember one time I got really annoyed and really blown away at the same time because I couldn't do it. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And we're talking about a character, and he designed Abe and the Gluckins and things like that. He just did this thing, and he goes, well, I think if he was holding it like this, and he takes this pencil that has a very long, sharp to it, and he goes on the page like this, and you were like, that's a forearm. It was like an elbow and forearm. It was like 2 strokes, and just kind of how like inkers used to do with wide quill pens, where they go thin and go fat. Yeah. And I was so blown away about it. I was like, "Fuck, man, how do you do that shit?" And the answer is you draw constantly and you strive to be better. And in Steve's case, he just always wanted everything better, and and that could get difficult sometimes. Ask Rob about that. Because they were getting feedback. And Farzad, who is a great designer as well, but Steve Olds was a hardcore talent, and there should be books on his work, but we featured him prominently in the Oddworld book. But so I got to work with some amazing people, and we were able to convince Steve to join with us really early. He was like the third member of Oddworld, really.
Oh wow. Still need. Every time I'm on Amazon recently, I've been seeing that book more and more with a white cover, and I'm in the picture of Abe and in the front. But I need to grab that at one point.
You mean
like the big book, the
400 page, the big one that was done, the Oddworld Origins, Abe Origins.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
That was fun.
I need to get a copy.